Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages. My name is Brandon Croucher, and I am so thankful to be here with every single one of you this morning. I have the one, the only, the queen of all South Africa. Ooh, there was an echo there. The queen of all South Africa, Miss Ilse. What you guys
Good morning. Am I echoing because I've got my laptop here on a chair and I can't seem to get my earphones in. So if I echo, just let me know. Otherwise, hello.
No, I don't hear an echo. If Jessica does, she'll tell me. She'll put a thumbs up, thumbs down. Nope. And mine doesn't have any background like beep, like I've had before. Nope, I got to know there. So we are in good. So guys, do me a favor, put a comment in the side. You see, my mom was the first person to jump on this morning, and she even as I was getting dressed, she yells up the stairs, "Hey, I got the first comment!" So guys, make sure to say hello. Tell us where you are, where you're from. Ilse made sure she got the second one in there. Go hit the like, the subscribe, the share button. Let your friends know, your family know, because we're here to bring a positive, uplifting beat. Help you get through the day as Ilse undresses for everybody. So, third was Ryan with moving motion pictures. And then Brian went down 2 points. Oh, so harsh. Brian, I'm sorry. And then fourth, sorry, Sarah. We had a couple people beat you. And then Mama C, oh, Miss C. Mom, you're getting highs from Miss Mandy all the way in the UK, from South Africa to the UK. Nice to have friends all over the world. Now, right? Ilse, I have a question for you particularly. I don't know if anybody's looked out the window yet. You see her looking all around and how she's like kind of panicking. Happy Thursday. We're ready for a breakthrough. We're gonna have a breakthrough. Jessica's rolling her eyes in the back at me. That's okay, because I don't have to pee. See, Sarah caught your hair too. Happy.
Oh, thank you. Let me turn around so you can see the back.
Let me turn around. Here, I did the same. I just shaved my head. How's it look?
It looks so pretty.
I love it. And then moving motion picture says, a couple people be a Jew. What did you just say? No, we're going to have a breakthrough. We need our Jewish people, though. So thank you for joining us today, Ryan. So Ilse, tell everybody about what you are up to, what you're doing, and why your new place is so awesome that giraffes poke their head through that window and we might get one to bite your head.
Out of it. Now, I had the most wonderful morning. I went to empower one of my friends. She's going through a rough time. I don't know. She's going through a rough time, getting a divorce and everything. So I just went and visited her, and we went to the Goddess Cafe. I'm sorry, Cootie. I had a pink cappuccino.
You had a pink cappuccino? You had a pink cappuccino?
Oh, it's so beautiful. I can send you a picture, then you can put it up. But the place's name, it's the Goddess Coffee Shop. It is so amazingly beautiful, and everything's pink. Everything is like, it's just pink and flowers. I'll send it to you on your Facebook Messenger. And
Okay.
the food, you must see the food. The food
The
was
food.
amazing.
So is it vegan though? Because we have to be cautious with what we have now.
It actually was. It actually was.
It was vegan. So Elsa,
Yes.
we've been pushing something really hard for the last few weeks. And I have to give credit to everybody else. Everybody else. Because you and I have been like, hey guys, we're working hard. We want to put good content out there to support us. The best thing you could do would be like share, comment, all that stuff, right? Well, apparently everybody got it because I don't know if you saw or not yet, Ilse, but the YouTube channel had a big jump last night. And what I mean by a big jump is we actually got 12 subscribers in one night, and we are now up to 310 subscribers. Guys, that is amazing. That is, I'm 100% thank you. Love you. Thank you. Be proud of yourselves because
That
truth
is
be told,
amazing. And 310 is an angel number. It's an angel number. So go check what 310 means. Google it, and then you'll see the messages that you get. It's actually so beautiful when you Google it and you see the messages that it sends you.
messages of 310. That's awesome. 310. So, message behind that. So, what did you get into last night? You're in a new place, new sounds, new everything. How's it going?
I
Do you
slept
like your new place?
horrible. I slept horrible.
What?
And it's not that I don't struggle sleeping in places. I was tired last night, but I only have one pillow, and I'm used to this king size bed, and it's it's like you're sleeping on a cloud. So going from that to sleeping on a double bed, and my starfish move doesn't work because my feet goes off the bed. Because I'm
That's
the
funny.
king size, I fit when I sleep like this. I fit properly. Nothing hangs off.
That's funny. That is
So,
funny. But wait a
at
minute.
first,
You
I
hang
struggled to fall
off?
asleep. Yes, my feet hangs off on the end because I lie like a starfish, flat on my stomach with the one hand on the one side. I don't share my bed with anybody but myself, so I lie like a starfish.
Hey, Ilse, read that.
I may have rounded up 10 people to subscribe through Dolphin Dance. No big deal. Okay, what do you need to get 10 more?
Yeah, what do we need? What
Tuning
do you
Unity.
guys?
What must I sing for you?
What can we do right now? And by the way, Donnell Jackson, I gotta do one thing for these guys. Coming up on the Breakthrough Show next Wednesday is the release of their newest show by the Jacksons. It is going to be about relationships Wednesday evenings. Do not forget to go check that out. It is going to be one about building up the best relationship with your significant other. So make sure you check that out and give them some love on the Breakthrough Network because that's a good one. Good morning, you beautiful soul there. I love you, Sherry. And then Mandy Atterbury, I'm sorry. You know what? You're not in a bad financial spot. You want to know why? Because it's coming through. You're breaking through. As Jessica would say, it's Breakthrough Thursday. Jessica's here. She's going to be like, guess what, Mandy? You push it through, girl. We got this. Woo! She's in the back watching. I'm watching Jessica's face. It makes my day when she's just like, oh, my God. Oh, my God. That's just the tongue sticking out at me like, nah. The second and fourth Wednesday of the month, Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Time, EDT, not EST, because I've learned my lesson. That's not what it is. At 7 p.m., the second and fourth Wednesdays of the month. Make sure you tune in to the Jacksons show and all that, because that is going to be a fun one. And if you have not met the Jacksons yet, do not worry. You don't need to meet them. You will get to love them so fast. I mean it. They are amazing. Oh, I am right, Mandy. I am 100% right. You want to know how I know it? Because I believe it. I have faith for you. Ilse, speak on her. Prophesy to her right now. Go, girl.
We're manifesting you some money. The universe will send you exactly what you need. Just believe it. You do not short anything. Money flows to you easily. And what you need from the universe flows to you easily.
I love it. So last night I did have an interview. I was interviewing somebody. And you want to talk about being like caught off guard. So she shows up 2 minutes before the show. And the H, it's My Honest Conversation, Health, Hemp, and Happiness. And she was coming on to talk about women in the cannabis industry. So this is a fun topic for me because I love to see what women are doing that are breaking barriers. I love to see what people are doing that are breaking the box, like totally outside the box thinking. Well, what made me interested in this was the fact that she leading the Chamber of Commerce in Colorado, which is a legalized state. And it was going to be all about how women can get more involved no matter where they are in the country. Okay. And then she shows up 2 minutes before and goes, "Oh, we can't talk about any of that." And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, "Well, that job and I kind of like separated just this week. So I need to actually talk about something else." I'm like, "Can we talk about just cannabis as a whole?" And she said, "Yeah." So I start writing down all these questions, and I'm literally like running through them with her as fast as I can of which ones I already had and how I can switch things and like make it more appropriate for our conversation for where she's at. I have to be honest, I felt like I was like pulling teeth through the whole interview because I felt like I had to watch what I was saying. But honestly, at the end, what a great interview. Like we were able to talk about things. Awesome. I love when people it gives you that twist of something new you got to do, something different that's outside the box. And when they do that, you literally hit a point where you're like, oh, shit. Like, how am I going to connect with this person in 2 minutes to be able to make this show be a good one for 1 hour? I have to be honest, the universe provides in weird ways. And I'm grateful.
It does. I'm telling you, I see miracles. I see miracles every day. This friend of mine that's going through this rough time, she actually said last night, she says, "I am manifesting a tattoo." And she wrote it down. She was sitting at the coffee shop, and one of her friends phoned her out of the blue and told her she actually wanted to come in Friday. She's gifting her a little tattoo. And I said, like, it's not even 24 hours. You wrote it down. It happened. She, out of the blue, just phoned her. She didn't even know that she wanted a tattoo. Nothing. While we're sitting there, she just said, "Will you please come in? I want to gift you with a small tattoo." And I said, see, that's how it works. You say it, the universe gives it to you. If you believe it, it happens. It happens. I've seen it happen in my own life. So
she said it and then wrote it down, right?
We said it last night. She grounded, she wrote it down, and then while we were having, she actually had to make a decision. She got a message, and I guided her through how to answer the message, and then she right after that, about 10 minutes after that, because it was a difficult situation. She's in a difficult situation, and sometimes people try and help, but they actually don't help. So I just literally gave her some pointers, and 10 minutes after that, this lady phones and says, "I want to give you a gift you a tattoo on Friday." And she puts the phone and she says, "I manifested a tattoo." I'm like, you see? Why? If you can manifest a tattoo, why are you worried about anything else? The universe gives you what you need.
I have to be honest. I want a tattoo. I'm manifesting that right now. I want a tattoo. I have a lot of tattoos, but it's a therapy.
I've got quite a bit. I've got this one. So that one is my friend that passed away. That's his name. Let me go like that. It says Tian. His name was Tian.
Tian. Oh, that's pretty. A flower and all that. Yeah.
And then that one is my cross that says believe, love, and faith.
I love it.
And then I've got a butterfly on my back with mushrooms, magic mushrooms and everything on my back. And my roots for my tree of life that I want on my back. And then I've got one in my, did I say in my leg inside, and then one on my foot. But everything is plants and flowers and everything. I love it. Oh, thank you so much, Sherry, my friend. Shout out to Alri. She's a little genie. She's got the longest red hair. She's from Irish descent. She's the most gorgeous creature I've ever seen in my life. Amazing goddess, soft heart, and we just empower each other. And she actually braided it while teaching me how to braid my hair, because I can't braid my own hair. I can only do one on the side like this. And I told her, I said, I'm turning 40. And no one has ever showed me how to braid my hair. They always want to do it for me, but nobody goes and says, let me show you how to do it. So I'm going to practice and then I'll show you guys how it goes, because she literally showed me a couple of times today how to do it. So I got off the working hamster to do the working hamster wheel to braid my hair on a Thursday, not knowing what day it is, because I was like, is it Thursday already? Jeez, this week has gone past so quickly.
Right? This week has just flown by. All right, so wait, let's play something. Your friend manifested a tattoo by Friday, which is tomorrow. And
they're going to do the tattoo next Friday, but she manifested not even within 24 hours.
Amazing. Now, my next question would be, what does everybody else want to manifest? What do you want to manifest right now? Write it down. Put it in the comments. Also, tell me.
Put intention in it. The intention is there.
Put intention.
Once you say it, words are very powerful. Words are very powerful. I once talked my one friend's little finger. He had to get his finger amputated. What happened is we sat, he's a school friend of mine, and they had a strike, and they had all the managers and everything had to work in the workshop because the blue collar guys were striking. So they're not used to the machines and everything. And another guy was the second one that got hurt, and he phoned me and he says, you won't guess what happened. He says another guy lost his finger. And I was sitting on my couch at home, and I went like this and I said, but I still remember lifting up this pinky. We call it a pinky. It's like your little finger, this little finger. Okay, pinky. And I was drinking my tea, and I still said, please do not cut off your pinky. Because how are you going to drink tea? And he was still laughing and everything. And that was the Thursday. And the Friday, I was on my way to a friend, and he phoned me and he says, I think something bad happened. And I thought he was joking because we spoke about it the day before. And he sent me a photo, and one of those machines pulled in his hand and crushed and cut his whole pinky in half. They had to amputate it 2 weeks later. I felt so bad. And that's when I realized that words are so powerful. So I only send out good blessings to people because it's powerful and it shows you. I still today I feel bad about his hand, his finger, like that guilt. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. One of my good friends got bit somewhere, and every time I go to talk about it, I start to laugh, and it's not a funny situation, but it's such a funny situation.
I laughed at that the whole time as well.
Exactly. I love the first manifestation that we got today. The first manifestation coming on is I want to manifest being on Java Delight. Oh! Jessica, she's like, I didn't expect that at all. That's why I had to.
Miracles
Are you
do
ready?
happen. Miracles happen, boys and girls.
We just witnessed a manifest.
Miracles happen.
Oh, I love it. Now we are blessed. We want to have it like Sherry McQueen is literally saying she wants to manifest my business to help more people. Love that. Love that. Keep it up. Believe it. Donnell Jackson's manifesting the breakthrough show, and he's laughing. It's because of this comment.
Because he's done it. Because he's done it.
Woo! He's like, I know what I want. I want to create a show with my wife. Where am I going to go? I know the breakthrough show. We're going to break through to people. We're going to make relationships.
Thank God for TikTok, because that's where I met the Jacksons, and on their lives. Yeah.
I love it. I've got a very short attention span. So the 3-minute videos, I do not watch them, but the short ones, I like them. It gives me a snippet of information because I follow the right people.
Yeah.
So it gives me information and good vibes and everything, but that it keeps me happy. Like 2 seconds. Oh, okay, right. I got that. Next.
Less than 30 seconds of twerking, and then you move on with your day.
Expert.
My camera doesn't go that low anymore.
I don't do the twerking. I just joke about it and embarrass my kids.
That's the best time.
That's what we're here for.
I wish your kids, I know they're homeschooled, but deep down inside, I wish your kids went to school because I would come down there, we connect a blowhorn on top of the car, like a cop car, okay? And then I would just come down and be like, Dugas kids, go to school. Make sure you're attending classes. Dugases. I know you're all mixed up in there. You're majority of the people walking. There's at least 7,000 of you in this school. It's the biggest classroom in the school in the state. I love it. So Stuart, I love this. Stuart says, I want for no person to ever give up on their dreams. While Brian says he has... Nope. I have a private manifest request, which I think is 100%. If he's wanting it to be private, you're allowed to have it be private, and we just want to have it.
He must just in his mind put it out there. He doesn't need to tell us.
I thought you were like pressuring him. I'm like, damn, Elsa, like don't.
He doesn't need to say it to us, but he does. There is power in saying it out loud. So even if he's like going a room by himself, he's in his truck by himself. So just say it out loud in the truck.
Yes, 100%. Brandon, that is the reason children need therapists. I'm sorry, guys. I don't have kids, so I have to pick on everybody else's kids and do the things that would embarrass them. So, like, I literally am like, I want to wear a dinosaur suit, that blow-up thing, and walk around, like, the kids' school and be like, have you seen the big Dugases? Have you seen the big Ds? Yes! Yes!
Here's a coupon.
How much? Jessica, how much can I save?
You could say, I'm sure it's over $50, so you could save $10 off your purchase.
See, but here's the thing.
Party Wow on Cox Creek in Cox Creek Parkway in Florence, Alabama. Shameless plug for people I don't know.
Hold on. Let's give at least a plug to people you do know. So, ladies and gentlemen, the Jacksons will be on the Breakthrough Show.
Congratulations, Donnell and Angelic. You win. You win your very own show on the Breakthrough Show Network. I would suggest you start on September 8th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I think that would be great. I hope you say yes.
I do too. I really want to see how their relationship blossoms.
Yeah, because when you start doing shows with your partner, which Philip the Big D Dugas has been on Java with me once, and there's a reason the once is because it brings your relationship to a whole other level. Because, yeah, one of us has a filter, the other does not.
Guess which one's which? You'll never guess.
Depends on the day, actually. There are things that I can be a little, but anyway.
Oh my gosh, that's funny. Brandon, this is the reason kids need therapists, and then this one is a good one. Brandon, dinosaur in a diaper, is this week's OnlyFans of Bear Care Bear Brandon. So I don't know if that's a real OnlyFans or not, and I'm being honest because it's the same one every single time, and I'm starting to think they actually built an OnlyFans of me, and I'm like, that's kind of cool, but what goes on there? Is it like, I don't have that dinosaur blow up thing. I want it, but I don't have it. I think me walking around public already in onesies as a 38-year-old man explains why when I walk by schools, teachers are like, who the hell is that guy?
Apparently it was a thing. It says, sorry, this page is not available. The link you followed may be broken or the page may have been removed. So why don't you just be honest with us here, Brandon?
Where do you think the new subs are coming from? Oh my God. All right. Well, I guess I need to do something.
Networking is networking. It doesn't matter on what platform.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm laughing because I'm picturing Jessica being like, all right, Brandon, so you need to go create this. And then I start doing better on OnlyFans than I do on Discord. Because I've already been made fun of for how I do my Discord. I go, Jessica's like, Brandon, what is this? And I'm like, I don't know. Discord told me make a server. And she's like, that's already been done. And I'm like, well, what did it tell me to do it for? I don't know. Why did you do it? I don't know, Jess. Why did I do it? She's like, I felt so embarrassed. And luckily, there's only 2 people in that Discord group, Jessica and my new friend that I don't know his name. So with the combination of both.
Yeah, I keep popping over there, accidentally clicking on it as I'm going between my group and the Pokemon group of going. What is he doing over there? And there's nothing. So
I went back to your Discord. I went to your server because
that's the way it should be.
I'm like, I don't know anything on this. I'm like, hey guys, let's have some fun in here. And then I'm the only one talking to myself. It's like Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. So OnlyFans, speaking of OnlyFans, I know somebody over there, and she's actually going to be on my show tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Are you talking about Miss Megan McGlover?
Megan McGlover, yes.
Oh, Megan. I am sorry. Megan.
Okay.
I wrote it down wrong. So Megan McGlover is going to be on the Breakthrough show tomorrow, talking about her breakthrough question. Yeah. And I'm asking a legit one. This is not me going pervert. I promise. I'm going to make it a joke, even though it could sound like it's not one. She has an OnlyFans. Is it one like everybody assumes, like where you pay and like a bunch of creepy guys? Okay, good. Thank God.
No. She does a series called Petty Tuesday, which I am here for. Petty Tuesday got me through the whole 2 months I had COVID. And so Megan is a comedic motivator, and she's following her calling to be a strong voice in the Black community. And it was not a calling she wanted. She talks about that in our episode tomorrow, that she just doesn't, she heard God say to her, you need it. And she was like, you're gonna have to make another phone call here because you got the wrong number. But she is very opinionated. Has a very strong voice about a lot of current hot topics, everything from COVID to politics to Bill Cosby to the Olympics to she's talked about all of it. Okay. And she has this one series called Petty Tuesday, which is kind of a no holds barred. She gets real petty about things. She talks about this stuff, but she allows herself to get a little interesting in how she expresses everything. And she doesn't hold back. I mean, she's cussing, she's, saying the things that a lot of people are thinking, but never saying out loud. And, it's just nice for her to be a voice in that way for some of us that are a little like, oh, damn girl, I would never say that out loud. Shit. But she decided recently, she's like, well, if all these people can be showing all their shit on OnlyFans, then I can be on OnlyFans and do my Petty Tuesdays. So she does Petty Tuesdays on OnlyFans now.
Petty Tuesdays on her OnlyFans. I am intrigued. So how petty does she get, Jessica?
She get pretty damn petty. Okay, so I will give you one example, and I will not. So don't ask me questions about it in the comments because I'm not going to go that far. These are Megan's opinions, Megan's thoughts. If you want to see the video, it's on her YouTube. So she was talking about, there was one politician up north somewhere, I think it was the mayor of Chicago, but I could be wrong, who said that she refused to take interviews from white reporters. And it was this whole thing that came out. And when her Petty Tuesday, she brought up all of these people in BLM, in politics, in all of these different groups who have refused to work with the white community, who are also either dating or married to a white person. So she was showing pictures, she had receipts, she had the whole thing. And I mean, it was unbelievable. Anyway, go find that video on her YouTube. I believe it's youtube.com, McGloverful.
Oh my gosh, my mouth is dropped because of the fact that so I love that. It's bringing out a stereotype and how people are like creating this. And then she's like, yeah, let's get petty on this. One of the most recent things I saw on TikTok of all places, and it doesn't mean it's a fact, but I had to look it up. Did you know the organization that picks like what is going to be FDA approved and all of that, like it helps the FDA go through stuff, is owned by Dr. Fauci's wife?
those are some of the things that Megan talks about on her thing. But listen, so it was challenging for me. So this is, by the way, the first episode in 5 seasons that I had to put a disclaimer at the beginning that says we talk about sensitive topics, viewer discretion advised. I've never had to do that before because Megan is also getting her doctorate in psychology. She's a therapist. She does a lot of different. She's amazing. Okay, but she's also she will kick your ass about and challenge you on everything that you think about anything. And so I had to put a disclaimer at the beginning, and I had to actually hold myself back because there's a lot of topics that I wanted to go down, but I know also in my experience, and the reason that I do the show the way that I do with storytelling is that people don't like to be preached to. People don't want to be told this is the way it is and you're doing it wrong. And no, they want to hear a story and feel all warm and fuzzy and then make the decision for themselves and go, oh, I want to change my life too. This is fun. So, people want to be coddled. We are simple human beings. We don't want to be preached to. We want to be told a story, tucked into bed, warm cup of milk, whatever, almond milk. And, yes. And so it was difficult for me because I really wanted her to, I wanted to go down the rabbit hole with her and go through all these little things. But I also knew I had to stay true to what my show is about, which is about getting a point across in a way that we can reach everyone and not necessarily be like, well, you may want to unsubscribe because we're going to go there. But she does touch on a few things. And when the unedited version comes out, I had almost 2 hours of footage that I had to whittle down to 56 minutes. When the unedited version comes out, it is going to come with a bigger disclaimer.
Capital letters.
Yeah.
Bigger disclaimer, Jessica. I can't imagine. All right, we had fun with ours, and when I had my interview with you. But my thing is, how, is it the political side? Is it the swearing? Is it the opinions that are there? What is the disclaimer for? Because
the disclaimer for this episode is because we get into some topics that are sensitive about abuse. So I'll just leave that there for that. So
that's actually good.
Yeah, so that's the reason for the disclaimer on this one. Now, the disclaimer for the other one will be because of very strong opinions about everything from politics to LGBTQ to it's one of those things where for me, it's no big deal because I've gotten to the point of where even if I disagree with someone, that doesn't take away from the fact that we can have a connection. Your opinion is your opinion, mine's mine. I'm not here for you to change mine, and I'm not going to try to change yours because ultimately that's your opinion. But there's not everybody is like that, and we've seen that even more in the last almost 2 years, a year and a half, 2 years, with everything going on in the world that. There's a lot of this. Well, I mean, I have my opinion, but now we need to be separate because your opinion differs than mine. So, right. It can be challenging, as you guys know, when you do a show to say, this is not the opinion of our network as a whole. This is the opinion of our guest, and asking your audience to have an open mind when they might not. And which is their prerogative as well. They have their own stuff. So I'm very glad that I was able to get the episode ready for everybody for tomorrow, because I really think even without diving completely into the rabbit hole, that there's going to be a lot for people to take out of it, which is ultimately going to be a real ass kicking for people, because she tells you right out, this is how you change the world, and she's going to give you the answer, and you're not going to like it.
People don't like hearing the truth.
Well, her brand new book, that was the other reason she was coming on, is called Stop Lying.
I like that. Ooh.
I'm waiting for my copy. It was on pre-order. I ordered the VIP. I got a t-shirt coming, a signed book, a workbook, the whole, because when I saw this book, I was like, I have to have this. But she's going to talk a little bit about the book on the show tomorrow and where it came from and what it's set up like, so everybody knows. But it is good, and it's about the important. We're conditioned to lie from a very young age, and it's incredible what she's done, and I'm super excited about her telling everyone the importance of telling the truth. But at the same token, we have to stop lying at the same time. So.
Ilse, if you have something, jump in, because I'm going to jump on this one right away. So let me ask you a question on that. And Megan will have to be the one to answer this probably, but I want your opinions. Are little white lies okay? Like, I'm asking because I personally, I don't like to be like I had a situation happen in the last 2 weeks, and I effed up, and I had to look at myself. And everybody that was close to me was like, just tell everybody this, lie about it. It's okay to have little white lies. And I could not do that, at all. And it's like that for me, that little white lie will lead me, because then I have to remember that little white lie for later. And then again and again. And then if they bring it up and I forgot about it, then I have to get myself out of a trouble where they're feeling like I was wrong to them. So for me, I am not about little white lies. I'd rather you be mad at me in that moment and us talk through it. How do you guys feel about little white lies? Like, oh, Elsa, your hair looks wonderful today. It really does, but you get what I'm saying. Like,
I do. I've got this philosophy. I don't lie to people because I'm not scared of people. I think you lie to people when you're scared of their reaction, when you stand up for yourself, or when you make a decision for yourself. And if I make a decision for myself, I'm going to tell you the truth about it. I will not lie about it because I'm not scared of your reaction. So, and I hate when people lie to me, because if I ask you a question and it's got nothing to do with me, just tell me it's got nothing to do with you. Don't lie to me. So I don't like when people poke around and ask me questions of stuff that's got nothing to do with them. So I don't lie to them. I'll just tell them it's got nothing to do with you, because I don't like when people lie to me. So I don't lie to them.
That's the question. And you brought up a good point, Ilse, is why are you lying? And a lot of times it is because of fear. A lot of times it is because of, you're afraid of a reaction. You're afraid of a person. You've been hurt before. And so now you're afraid of being hurt again, or you're afraid of hurting the other person. Lies happen. Lies aren't always, I think this is a big misconception. Lies don't always happen because of a malicious intent. There are lies that happen because you have someone's best interest and you're afraid of hurting them, or you're afraid. But ultimately, I mean, we're trying to internalize somebody else's journey, somebody else's outcome, somebody else's involvement in life.
The reaction to whatever's happening. And
we have to stop taking on that's their stuff. And as much as it might hurt us to see somebody else we know and love being hurt, that's still their journey to go through. And I know that is a really hard thing for us as humans to grasp, especially those of us who are empaths or super empathetic people, to watch somebody else hurt. We don't want to be hurt too in the process. So, but it's difficult. And I want to use what Sherry said as an example. And I want her, where she said to each their own. I'm not calling out Sherry, but I want to use this as an example. So someone gives their opinion, and we oftentimes will say things like that. We'll say to each their own, or yeah, I don't care, or just because we're trying to spare their feelings on the fact that, yeah, I actually do care about that, and I don't agree with you at all. And that has not been my experience and all of that. So we say things like that. In the South, we say things like "bless your heart." We say things that don't actually mean that, ladies and gentlemen. It means something that I'm not going to say on air because I'm not ready to use my F word yet. So
use mine.
No, because you'll use yours later too.
Right. And I think it does us a little bit of a disservice to continue to say things like, I don't care. That's your opinion. It's no big deal. Yes, it's your opinion, but my opinion matters too. And I do actually care. And if we stop taking freaking offense to every time someone else has a different opinion, then we can have a conversation where we each have an opinion and we don't have to worry about it. Like it's going to be fine.
What did I miss?
The comment from Twitch.
I didn't even see it. Like, it just came on mine. Like, what the? I'm going to say it. It means you poopy doo-doo head. It does.
It might mean something like that. But yeah, I think that the conversation that we're having on the Breakthrough Show tomorrow is a needed one. Most people know that it's very rare that I have someone do a whole episode. Usually it's segmented with entertainers and different things like that. Megan is the entire hour. You're gonna love her. And if you don't get the Stop Lying book by the end of the show, then I just don't know if we can continue this.
Jessica, you have about 5,000 kids right now.
952.
952. Yep, cool. Just making sure our math made the same. So with that, kids start at young ages. They like you said, they're ingrained in lying and all that. How do you make sure your kids know how important it is to tell the truth? I don't have kids, so I'm asking this to both of you guys. Ilse with her 3 kids, Jessica with her 855 now. So, what would you guys, how do you make sure you emphasize sticking in the truth and getting it out there, even if it hurts someone?
First of all, why do kids lie to their parents? It's because, again, they're afraid of the reaction they're going to get if they speak the truth. If they tell you what happened, they know what's going to upset you. So changing the way you react when your kids tell you something, that will already show them that it doesn't matter what somebody else tells you, it's how you react to that. So if you react in a truthful way to your kids when they ask you something, like for instance, say you're going through a divorce, it's not, you can't lie to the kids. Be honest with them and tell them what's going on. When you start lying to kids, and that's when you have to keep up the lie, and where it gets difficult. And I mean, they deserve the truth just as much as you deserve the truth, but you can't react again to something that they tell you because you do not know what headspace they were in or what happened.
Yep, I agree.
When whatever happened. So that is very important.
Is it okay at a young age to lie to your kids about something? Like, if it's going to hurt them? Like, I'm trying to think of a good reason to lie to your kid, but I don't have one in me.
Santa.
Oh, beautiful. Santa. I almost went down a bad comment. I almost made a bad one. Santa, the Easter Bunny. Like, there's so many more. And I just want to make sure that, how is that an appropriate omission? Lie. Omission, lie, things like that. Is that okay? And why is that okay and others aren't? Do you get where I'm going?
It's okay to a point to try and explain something. Yes, there's a Santa or whatever, but try and explain the meaning behind Santa. I think if you give them more options and explain to them, because kids are clever. You think kids are stupid, they're not stupid. They know exactly what's going on. You just need to confirm it to them. I mean, somewhere along the line, they're going to okay, this dude is not bringing any gifts through my chimney.
It got really interesting for us last year because my dad is Santa. And a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know that my dad is Santa. And my dad came to visit. My youngest children had met him for the first time in person because it had been a long time since we had seen him. And it was right before Christmas. And Santa came here with his beard and presents, but in normal clothes because he obviously wasn't working. And it was magical for them. And so I think when we're talking about things like that, we have to make the decision that what's the intent behind it. And also as far as the lying in our house, that's a pretty big deal in our home with the lying, because I think in addition to what Ilse said about us, us being more mindful as parents, we also have to teach our children about assumptions. So what it's doing, we know what assume means. It makes an ass out of you and me, right? ASSUME. So
that's what it is. Sorry.
So we know about assumptions, and when our children assume that we are going to react a certain way because we had reacted that way before, because they had seen somebody else's parents react that way, because they haven't yet come to grip with what they're about to share, that they're afraid because of that it's not 100% of the responsibility is on the parent. I think we also need to teach our kids about assumptions, and that's really important.
I agree 100%. So so Megan's on, and you're going to be diving into truth telling. You're going to be diving into Petty Tuesday. You're going to be hitting a lot of sensitive topics. But at the end of the day, you're going to be about why telling the truth is so essential, even if it freaking hurts. Right?
Yeah.
Have you ever had somebody tell you a truth that hurts that later comes back and says, like, you go back and realize, wow, they really didn't mean anything? And I use that as an example because there's someone I'm having discussions with right now, and they sent me a message that was a voice message I got this morning, being very open, genuine, and raw with me about what their heart is on their heart. But they wanted to tell me the truth without me taking it personally. And I have to be honest, that was one of the most, I listened to this message while I was like getting ready this morning in the shower, and I'm shaving my head, and I saw who it came from, and I'm like, I hope they're not yelling at me. And then it was the exact opposite. And it was the greatest feeling because they set a boundary with truth. So it didn't hurt. It made me realize where I need to fix some things and where I've hurt them. And I broke their trust. So for me, I think there's times when that truth is needed and we have to look in the mirror. And luckily I was in the shower, so all I had to do was go like that and look in the mirror. But
delivery. I am not always, especially in the heat of the moment, my face says a lot, my tone of voice can say a lot, but I assure everyone that my heart and my intention is always pure. I have, and I've been very open about this on my own network, my own shows over the years, that I want to just see a world of shiny, happy people. And sometimes that means that I have high expectations for others. I think it's BS when people say they don't have any expectations of other people. So, of others, of ourselves, expectations of ourselves. And so I have to always think about, instead of me, I used to pick on myself for my delivery all the time of going, well, somebody's going to take that wrong. And then it just goes down this rabbit hole of being mean to myself, which I don't want to go down either. So I just allow myself to deliver a message now. And then I will say, I just want you to know that this is about me. This is about, you are on your own path, your own journey and all of that. This is about me, my boundaries, what I need to do in my life. And ultimately, if we're both doing in a party, we're both doing what is best for us, then the relationship is gonna be fine. But I think there's something to be said for delivery. There's something to be said for saying I'm sorry, for expressing yourself, for saying, I have to say this with a firm tone because it's something that's important to me. However, I love you and I appreciate you and you mean something to me. So continue the conversation and watch how, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be cursing and everything, carry on and be unprofessional and just ugly. You just don't have to do that.
I 100% agree. Jessica, can I ask a question? Sure. How are you this talented that you're literally, I saw your hands as you're talking and then this came on the screen. Yeah. I was like, how did she do that? And then you stop.
I believe that is it either has to be a child on the other computer or the Jacksons, because the Jacksons are able to be in there to broadcast their show. So I'm assuming that it's either one.
I loved it. The reaction. So, my thing, I love what you say, is it isn't about the delivery. It's about how you say it, and then it's understanding. So Ilse and I could pick on each other, okay? And if I make a joke that crosses a line with Ilse, she will tell me later about it. Now, Jessica, I'm going to pick on you for a second. Yeah. I watched an interview you did this week, and you just made the comment about how you don't really hide your facial features. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh my God, did I have fun watching your interview this week with that guy live? Like, I'm watching, and he's like this the whole interview, and then he looks up, and then he's down, then he's up, then he's down, and I'm watching Jessica's face go. I was like, you had the most, like, just look me in the eyes, there it is. There's what we were waiting for.
Yeah.
But you nailed the interview still, but it was so much fun because without knowing you, it looked like you were being polite. Knowing you, I'm like, I know.
Oh, me and Jeff go and Jeff so I was on Make Every Second Count with Jeff Markinette Jr. and Jeff had if you guys remember him, if you watched him earlier in the season, he was in a car accident, got hit by a semi when he was 17, and was in a coma for 2 months. So he has a traumatic brain injury, and that's why he physically does the things he does. And so when you know, this goes back to the assumption conversation.
Bingo! I did it on purpose because I listened and I knew this could come back on me. So please know, I set this up as a chessboard for you to beat me. Go ahead.
When you know, checkmate. When you know that, when you know what someone's, but goes to the importance of communication and delivery and all of that, because if you don't know what Jeff has been through, it's easy to go, oh, he looked bored the whole interview. Like, no, that's just, he has a traumatic brain injury. It's how he responds. And so when we don't have these conversations, I think as long as you're having conversations, you're fine. And the reason why I say delivery is important, but don't allow that to be your focus, is because of the fact that no matter how you deliver it, people are going to take it whatever the hell way they want. I have said things coated in sugar and wrapped in a nice package, and people still run with it. So it's like, you can only do the best as long as you're doing the best you can do with delivering information, and you're not being purposely an ass, then I mean, you're doing the best you can do.
I 100% agree. Now, Jessica, I want to do a quick push. Kevin Kiley is up for, oh my God, I love the smile. She switched it so fast. Jessica, tell us who Kevin Kiley is and why the hell we all need to be voting. I vote every day for him because I honestly want to see him win so I could say, I know someone that knows him.
Yes, I put the link in private chat for you so you can post it for everybody. So Kevin Kiley is my best friend in my head, and well, he's amazing. I met him on accident last year in the quarantine karaoke book page on Facebook, and he sang, and I was like, oh my God, he's an amazing singer, and he's from Connecticut, which I'm from Connecticut, so we just had this great connection from the beginning. And he came on the Breakthrough Show, and then came on the Breakthrough Show again, then came on the Breakthrough Show again, and then said, well, I'll do Throwback Thursday with you. And then somehow I became his unofficial assistant, and so all of this stuff has gone on. Kevin Kiley is up to become the headliner at the Hollywood Bowl for the Odyssey annual concert in October. And he is, if you go to that link right now, he is currently first in his group, as you can see. So basically it goes through rounds, but you can go to that link and vote for him every single day. You get one vote. It has you connect with your Facebook. You vote. You get your vote across, and then after, I think 12 hours is what it says right now. This is for the top 10, and then it'll go to the next round. Right now, he's first. as you can see in his group. So this will continue. And if he wins, he gets $10,000 to help him forward his music career and gets to be the opener. Last year, it had like Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish, like really big names. Okay. So there's my Kevin. He's fantastic. And I can tell you guys from behind the scenes, he is, does he need more cowbell? I just noticed that. That's my favorite thing.
Did I miss that?
It says, does Kevin Kiley need more cowbell? You didn't see that?
No, where did it say that?
Right above his picture.
No way. Oh my God, it does. Oh my God. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I totally didn't even catch that. You said it. And I'm like, did somebody write that in the comments? So I went right back to the comments. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jess.
He is the sweetest person. He is I agree. Kevin needs more cowbell. That's why you should vote for Kevin. He is the sweetest person. You guys have to understand with a musician that is working full time, trying to get their music out there. He had COVID in the midst of all this. Like, he has had so much stuff going on, and the starving artist thing is a real thing, because you have a choice. Like, when you're working full time, do I pay my bills or do I pay for the production of a new song or a music video or something like that? But he's amazing. Please vote for him, because I just want the best for him. He's incredible.
Mandy Atterbury, we hope you have a great day. We saw all your comments today. Jessica's punching her microphone. She's so mad you're leaving. She's like, get out of here, bam! But we are grateful you came by, Mandy. I know you're going through a lot. Believe in yourself. Take the time to manifest what you want and believe it's going to happen, because it's going.
Listen to the song Just Fine by Olivia Ambani. She's one of my friends as well. Listen to that song Just Fine, and it'll help your day.
I would like to point out, if you dial 256-685-7092 right now, you will be able to join Jessica's text line. And Kevin Kiley not only says hi to you on there, he usually, and if you do it right now, you're going to watch Jessica Dugas freak out with her phone vibrating all day. So guys, do us a favor, text 256-685-7092 in U.S., Canada, or Puerto Rico, not in Mexico, because Fernando, she didn't like. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I love Fernando.
But they can join my Discord if they would like to do that.
100%. Now, Jessica, before we get ready to kick you out, because, we're going to soon, the thing is, you have you can hang out. Do you want to? I actually know the two of you are going to have fun with this, because our interview today is Mr. Troy Akin. He is not. So here, I'm going to give you what I know about him, and then I'm going to give you what
Troy Aikman. Don't confuse the two.
Even though he is with Echo Sports, Troy Aikman is not, but Troy Akin is. Yes. And don't worry, he was just as famous of a quarterback. We just don't know for what team. So the thing is, guys, Troy actually is the founder of the Echo Sports. He was an NCAA tennis player and has a passion for health and marketing. He turned, ready for this, watch Jessica smile, everybody. He turned vegan for health reasons in 2019. I see you. He was playing golf with another vegan friend one day and asked if his golf glove was vegan. He didn't even think about the fact that sports products could be vegan. After going down the rabbit hole, just about every sports use of animal products, mainly including leather for balls, but even tennis, uses sheepskin in the tennis balls. Not to mention, most of these products you cannot recycle or are not biodegradable. He sought to change that. In November 2021, Echo Sports is releasing eco-friendly sporting goods. He will continue to add more products each quarter so that he can be at a sporting good store to A, help save the planet, B, have a non-animal product option, and C, exceed the quality and durability of sporting goods currently out there. Guys, this is going to be an absolutely amazing interview. Troy Akin, Akin, but it's A-K-I-N. We're so close. Akin. He's going to be on here. He's in the back laughing at how much I'm messing this up. I'm so grateful he's laughing, because if he got mad, I'd be like, Jessica, do you want to stay, do the vegan thing and connect with him for me, please? So, guys, Jessica Dugas, he is going to be talking vegan. You and I had a quick conversation in the background about Plant Party of 8.
Yeah.
And you wanted me to make sure I brought it up. I know there's not much time, but I wanted to make sure I brought it up so you could talk about it.
So that's that's a page that I had a long time ago, because even after 4 years of being vegan, I still have friends and family that think I only eat lettuce. So I thought I would just post my or grass, whatever their thought is at the moment. And I wanted to just share my food, that it's normal food that everybody eats and it's not anything weird. And so started to share that on there. So it's Plant Party of 8 on Instagram. And the little quick story I wanted to share is how possible it is to change the world. And you don't have to, as we're talking about telling our truth and not lying and all of the things that we've been talking about today. We bought long story short, we bought a barbecue sauce that we just loved. And I really try hard when we're making a recipe to tag the different product pages that we use on Instagram. And this is a small batch company called Gourmet Warehouse. They're out of Hilton Head, South Carolina. And I tagged them. I went to go tag them, but then looked at their page and their hashtag said Meat's Best Friend. And so when I tagged them, I said, well, Meat's Best Friend, this is my best friend. This sauce is amazing. Clean ingredients, like super tasty. And I didn't expect anything out of that. They commented and they said, well, how about we can be Meat's best friend and vegan's best friend? And I said, I don't know, change the hashtag in your bio and we'll talk about it. And I was just joking. And they went and put vegan's best friend in their hashtag, in their bio on Instagram. And now we've got this whole banter going back and forth between Plant Party of 8 and Gourmet Warehouse. And I was just, this is how it's done. I could have easily been the vegan that said, well, meat is not good. And they could have been like, well, you're not our target audience. And we could have both been in our own BS, but we both were in our truth. We met in the middle. And now their page says vegan's best friend.
Do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that? I think we need to get another vegan on here for another opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, do me a favor. Tell Jessica you love her. Thank her for coming by. Jessica, I didn't do the theme music for you at the beginning.
I know.
But that's because I'm going to do it now. I'm going to put, and then Troy's going to be here after that. Maybe he's got a breakthrough for us. Thank you, Jessica, for coming on, bringing the light of the day and starting us. Thank you, guys. Every time I dance to that in the background, Troy. I hope you're ready to dance with me next time.
Great intro. I will definitely dance with you next time.
I love it. Now, Troy, how annoying is it that your name is so close to Troy Aikman? Did you've heard that joke your whole life and now you like hate him?
Yeah, absolutely. No. So I get it all the time, and I didn't like it at first, but now it's a super memorable way for people to remember me. So I think it as a blessing. And he's a 3-time champion, all-star. He's a phenomenal quarterback. So it's not bad to be in the same breath as Troy Aikman.
That's not true. Everybody, because I don't know who he is.
She's in South Africa,
yeah,
so
you're a different kind of football over there.
We've got rugby.
Yeah.
Do you have vegan rugby balls though?
No, that was actually one of the balls we've tested is a rugby ball, so that is potentially in the production line. However, just looking at volume, especially in the United States, rugby isn't a super high demand sport, so we'll keep that on the back burner. But we have tested one out.
Oh wow!
Troy who? Troy Akin. So Troy, I have so many things running through my head. The first thing I want to ask is, oh my God, how old are you? You have a baby face. How can you be so young and already such a stud with like everything you're doing?
Yeah, I was thinking of if I should shave or not, but I am 29 years old. So
you're 29? I was like, he's 21 at oldest. Sorry. Like, oh, you do have a baby face. I'm jealous.
Yeah. So I'll take that as a compliment as well. But yeah, 29. Perfect. So I've been through a lot in my life. I've gone through a bunch of different business adventures, and I finally found something that hits something I'm passionate about, something I care about, and something I enjoy doing. So I'm loving where I'm at right now.
I love it. I
Vegan
love
diet,
it. So,
baby face. Did you see
Yeah.
that?
right?
Yeah. It's the vegan diet that does this. I look like I was 35 2 years ago.
Now, wait, let's dive down that path for a second. Why did you decide to go vegan? Like, honestly.
Yeah, I've always been interested in health and kind of the gluten-free route. I wasn't necessarily gluten-free, but just like I know that there are other ways to be healthier, and my back was always sore. And being an athlete, like you're just sore all the time, and just you get over being sore. Like you're told to just learn to love being sore because that's how it is, but like it sucks. And like taking ice baths and doing the stim and different therapies. And so I just read this article on Facebook randomly, just sitting on my couch one day, like how great veganism is for your, or more of a plant-based diet. And so I just tried doing it 3 days a week, and I loved it for 3 to 5 months. Then I went 5 days, Monday through Friday. And then there was one time I went on this, just like had friends in town, family in town, and between all the burgers and beers that we had, I just felt so horrible that I was like, I'm going full-time vegan. And that was 2 years ago, and I've felt so amazing. I sleep better, I wake up better. So like Jessica was actually spitting a lot of fire earlier, but like not to try and tell you what's right and wrong, but like that's just how I felt. So I'm gonna keep going. Hey, there she is.
I knew she wasn't going anywhere when I read your bio. She's going to be here ready to talk vegan with you. My biggest question, and this is the one I guarantee you get the most, and then we'll dive into all the sports stuff because I know Jess, she wasn't going anywhere. I was hiding her in the back till she was ready to come back. She'll give me the middle finger when she's ready to go get off. And you get an F word, by the way. Everybody gets one. So if you choose to use it, have some fun, but use it wisely. Know that we might cheer and the audience might cheer because we love to see people's reaction when they get it. But what was the hardest thing for you to give up going vegan?
Fish. I loved any type of fish. Yeah, it's like crab, lobster, just salmon, shrimp. Yeah, so I wasn't the biggest red meat person. I mean, I had chicken and rice every night for dinner, so chicken was just a staple, but not like I loved chicken. But so fish was definitely the hardest to give up.
I had not yet met another vegan who that was my thing too, was seafood, because my dad was a fisherman and my grandpa was a fisherman, and I grew up on the water in New England, and so that was just a way of life up there. I had not, everybody else says like cheese.
Yeah.
Mine would be red meat. Mine would be red meat and cheese as well.
Yeah.
Because in South Africa we braai, and they heavy meat eaters. South Africa is very, very big on meat.
Yeah.
Now, being seafood, are you on a coast where you get a lot of seafood?
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in San Francisco. I live in Los Angeles, so we definitely have. I mean, I miss the come visit home in San Francisco and don't have clam chowder bowls anymore.
Right.
So
I love San Francisco.
Yeah,
I love San Francisco. One of my favorite cities in the country.
Yeah.
So what got you into wanting to do vegan products like this? I love it because it's so different. You're outside the box. You're young and bringing something new. You and I are going to have so much fun with this conversation. I'm going to have to mute myself so everybody else. Look at this. They already know me in the audience. B is going to try to move in with you. You better watch out. I will. I'm already heading out there, Troy. I hope you're ready. I'm moving in. But what made you get into this, and how can we as individuals be able to support you to spread this awareness?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And thanks so much for providing a platform to be able to share this. So I have always had kind of an entrepreneurial mindset. I mean, I sold candy in high school. I'd bring just a bag around and sell a bag of Skittles for $1. Like, I got my real estate license, and but hard person to person selling wasn't my forte. I always enjoyed marketing, and I have a SEO background, search engine optimization. So kind of the digital online marketing, social media, that type of stuff. And so I ended up selling tennis equipment because I am a tennis player and I just knew it, and it was relatively affordable to get started in that industry. And then this was kind of as I was just turning vegan, so I didn't know much about the vegan world yet. And like you said in the intro, one of my friends was like, "Oh, like, is your product vegan, or is your golf glove vegan?" And I was like, what are you talking about? Is your golf glove made out of leather? Because it's obviously an animal byproduct. And I was like, I have I have no idea. It doesn't say on the glove made of cow skin. So I just assumed it was just a piece of cloth. I don't know. And so I started looking at my tennis products and realized that those were technically vegan. They're made out of leather, but this PU leather isn't a biodegradable, recyclable. It's toxic to make. It's bad for the environment. And since generally, if you're on a plant-based diet, I guess you don't care so much about the environment, but generally vegans do care about the environment and everything. And so I realized that that's not where I didn't want to keep adding to the negative effects of the world that it's going on right now. And so I kept looking for this material that I could use on other sporting good products. And I came across, it's called TPU, it's thermoplastic polyurethane. So it's like a similar principle of polyurethane, but it's biodegradable, it's recyclable, it's less toxic to make. So it has all these great properties to it. And it's just as good as the other fake leathers and as regular leather. And so once I came across that, I was able to work with a manufacturer that could meet all my needs for all the different sporting equipment I wanted to do, and we got the ball running.
Your products that's made out of the
TPU.
Yes. Are they the same specific dimensions and everything, and the weight, everything the same as the normal balls with the leather and everything?
Yeah, so they're all the same. I mean, I've tested them. I played high school basketball, college tennis was my thing, but I grew up playing baseball, playing soccer, everything. But I know a lot of other college athletes, so I've had them test it, and I've had a lot of high-level athletes testing all the equipment. And so far, we've gotten really good feedback. But we are able to make, men's basketball, women's basketball, kids basketball, and it's all the same. I mean, I played pickup basketball with 6 other guys, and they had no idea that it was a different basketball. They just thought it was a regular basketball that they were playing with. Brandon's on mute.
I'm on mute, but I'm sitting here going.
Who's going next now? I don't know. Jessica.
Love your reaction.
I interrupt everybody as well.
I go. All right. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. And I go and I will go play ball. That is my outlet. I love to be outside. I love to go play street ball. As weird as that sounds, I go to the hood and I get my ass kicked because I'm an old white guy. But they like that I'm not afraid to talk some crap. Now, I see her laughing and I get distracted. Now, with that being said, Troy, if nobody's noticing the difference, is there a price difference? Is there a manufacturing change? Is it like if I went on your website right now, all right, and I order a basketball, is it going to have anything different, like the length of how long it lasts, to the price point, to the, you tell me.
Yeah, no, we're priced super competitively. We won't be top of the market. We'll be, I think we're around it ranging anywhere from $30 to $40 for, hey, there's the website. Anywhere from $30 to $50, depending on the sporting ball that you want to use. And yeah, it's going to last. It's super durable material. So it's not like if you just leave it sitting in your lawn for a year, it's going to just melt into the lawn. Like, it still needs to be recycled and allowed to biodegrade. But with that said, yeah, it's super durable, and it doesn't, it's water resistant, it's scuff resistant, all those type of things that you would find in a typical high quality sporting good.
I know that you've got some different products on your site now. Have you done, and I didn't see it scroll by, so this is why I'm asking, have you done a football yet? And is that, if not, is that on a list of goals for you?
Yeah. So if you look at the top bar menu, we were planning on starting with footballs, but we had a little production problem with them, so they're just a little delayed. So currently right now we are in production on basketball, soccer balls, and volleyballs, and then footballs are next, and baseball gloves are also next as well too.
My kind of follow-up question to that is, so you have this idea to come out with all of these things, and it sounds like a great idea in your circle of people that people that might be a little more self aware, environmentally aware. But do you what do you foresee it would be the biggest challenge in, like, say, getting the NBA to adopt this or the NFL to adopt the footballs or something like that?
Yeah, it's a great question. I get that asked a lot. And I think one of the biggest factors is just the quality of the product. I mean, if it's not up to the NBA standards, then of course, why are they going to use it? But if it's a similar price and a similar quality, why wouldn't you go with the option that is eco-friendly and gives back on, I mean, every purchase gives back 10% to a charity. There's 8 different charities that you get to choose from when you purchase. So why? So it's I think it's a quality issue, which I think we meet. So definitely the NBA.
It seems like a no-brainer, though, because you have teams like, for example, the Tennessee Titans, that the entire team went vegan for a little while. I don't know if they're all still vegan or not, but it seems like people in sports, you had Tom Brady promoting, plant-based for a long time as well. So it seems like everybody in the professional sports realm is becoming more aware about the importance of the diet. So it seems to me like you've got a great position to go, hey, I was that too. And then I didn't realize, oh, the stuff I'm using isn't exactly vegan. So it's great that you've got that story to kind of go in and meet them where they're at as well.
So
yeah,
I'm sorry, I just have to ask, have you found a sport that you think it's going to be able to break through first? Like tennis rackets, to golf, soccer, things like that, where you could see this being the breakthrough one that helps you get to it. It's Breakthrough Thursday, so I want you to manifest it on air for everybody.
Definitely. I like basketball a lot because Chris Paul is a strong vegan who was an MVP candidate in the NBA Finals. So he'd be such a great person to, obviously he does $1 million State Farm commercials and he's a big goal and target, but he's somebody that we think would be a great promoter of veganism and of the sport. Diana Taurasi's been vegan for a while. She's a multi-gold medal champion, NBA champion. So that's been great. Alex Morgan on the soccer front has been vegan since 2017 and credits her diet for a lot of her success. So I also personally like basketball the best, maybe just personally out of those sports. So maybe I want to see that one succeed. The vegan tennis balls are just not up to quality. And as someone that opens a new can of tennis balls every time, because I play at a high level and you kind of want a similar ball opposed to a dead ball. And I just can't find a ball that meets up with, the Wilson and the Penn balls. So tennis is a little further away.
You are on TikTok and you are a social media consultant as well. I saw on your LinkedIn page.
Yeah, so I go ahead.
No. Talk, it's fine.
Yeah, when I first moved to LA out of college, I got into the entertainment world, wanting to be an actor, an influencer, a model, kind of all those types of things. And it was an incredible run, and I learned how to get out of my shell. I mean, having this conversation between all the auditions and acting practice is so grateful. I'm so grateful for all the experiences of it, but it's just such a dog eat dog world, and everyone's trying to, it doesn't matter who you are, it's what you are, whatever the question is, or, they don't care about your personality. How can you help them? So for a while I got really deep into social media and I learned how to grow followings, and I used that as a way to supplement my income, was to be a consultant and help other people with their social medias and generate business through Instagram. So it was a way to live in Los Angeles for a while.
There's a reason why I asked you. Can you maybe give, because we also want to up our subscribers and reach the, do you have some pointers that you can maybe give us, all three of us, because we all have websites and products and everything. So just 1 or 2 pointers to help us.
Yeah, definitely. So one of the big things that I found that really helped grow me was, well, you need eyes on your site. So how do you get eyes on your site? And through Instagram, one of the ways to do that is, and maybe you guys do this a little bit, but is you kind of have to go to them first. So whether you're sending them a direct message or you're liking one of their pictures, then they see they'll see Java Delight liked my picture. Who's Java Delight? They come to your profile, and hopefully you have content that's relevant to them and they like your stuff, and that they start liking your stuff. They start following you. Even if they see your product and they like your product, they don't have to follow you, but then you get another eye on your product. And then also a tool that I really liked was kind of the automatic direct message. And so every time you got a new follower, a new subscriber, it would send them a personalized automatic message, but it would point them somewhere. You could put a link in it, you could put a picture in it. And so I would drive people to my website, and I got some clients through doing that. And so I'm hoping also to do that with EcoSports. And then collaborating is just another biggest way to do that, is finding other people in your market and work with them and have them put your name in there.
I love that. Sorry, I was looking to see if Jessica unmuted, so I knew it was my turn or not. She and I were having a staring contest. What has been some of the biggest challenges that you've had? That I see you there, Jess. I was watching. What are some of the biggest challenges you've had? Being that this is like it's a newer industry, people are taking notice of this, but from production of non-vegan things to breaking out and getting the bigger guys to actually catch you. What has been some of your biggest challenges that you've overcome? And as Troy Akin, not Troy Aikman, you're winning the bowls of life and all that. Like, what have you done to push through?
Yeah, well, I guess a lot of challenges, but are you talking more just like my time in college in LA, or are you talking specifically EcoSports?
So I actually want to do both. And I want to know,
Okay.
because you were in college in LA. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio. We have snow. We have all 4 seasons, even though it doesn't feel like it because of construction season. But with that, you're in college playing tennis. So like you said, you open it up and all that. You had this genius idea of going vegan with it. All of it goes together. How has Troy pushed through in the college years to then see this business attribute, and what challenges has the business had being a vegan business?
Yeah, well, I guess some of the challenges I had just during college was I also worked during college. So I had to balance working and school and being an athlete. So that was challenging. I was always relatively skinny for my whole life. So playing tennis is obviously not a contact sport and not quote unquote a physical sport, but it's pretty demanding on the body. I mean, it's hard steps. You're swinging out of you're throwing your shoulder out of its socket every serve. So it's pretty tough on the body. And I had injuries all the time. I was in the training room after and before every practice. So I had tennis elbow, I had torn biceps, going into playoffs of tennis, and you just play through that. So dealing with injury, you learn how to deal with adversity and just go through tough times, which I think led to trying to be an actor and getting rejected every week of my life, and being like, my brother is a really good salesman, and he's rejected every single day, 4 times a day on, phone calls or whatever. So like they go through rejection a lot, but I'm being so vulnerable and personable in front of 4 strangers that I have no idea that could potentially change my life. And that's like tough to do all the time. So you kind of get used to rejection, and you go be super vulnerable, and then you have to move on, and as if your normal day continues. And I actually booked a Hulu pilot that, if that had gone, it would have been kind of one of the most life-changing things of my life, and it didn't get picked up. So it was back to the grind. I was back to square one, and just then all over again. You get to 3rd, 4th round of auditions, you get callbacks, you're in producer sessions, you're going to the studios, and then you get no. And after 5 years of that, of being close so many times, it's just like, is this what Jessica, you're talking about, like being a starving actor, and is that what you want to be and do? And so that was like, I want to find something that I can still maybe go on audition. Like, I still have an agency, still sends me out, but I'm not in acting class every single day. And I'm not like, I can go to an audition and know that I have something that I'm also passionate about on the side. So it's become a really great, like, now acting is happy and it's fun and it's something that I enjoy. It's a creative outlet, where in the past it was, I need to book this to pay rent. I need to book this for my career. There's just so much, like, it's tough to perform at your best when you're tight. And And so then going through starting to sell tennis equipment, I sell on Amazon a little bit on my website through the tennis stuff, but I want to kind of get out of that because it's not eco-friendly. And so I'm transitioning more to eco sports. And I had a customer that was like, hey, I never received my product, and it was on Amazon. So I was like, yeah, sure. You can't give a free coupon on Amazon. So I tried to give him a 99% off coupon. And so I sent him the coupon, and I woke up the next morning. Little did I know that the coupon was for the whole world. So my entire inventory was gone. It was sold when I woke up at 8 a.m. on a Saturday. And I was like, did I just sell out, or what just happened? Like I had a thought maybe somebody just bought all my product because they liked it so much. It was the 99% coupon. So I went to Amazon and they canceled 70% of the orders, but some of them had already gone through, so they couldn't do anything about it. So like I was out like $2,000 that day. And however, because I had so many sales that day, I skyrocketed to the top of the listing on Amazon. And then the next 3 months were my best months ever on Amazon. And so it was like a super blessing in disguise. I got back most of the inventory, but that was like, I had a whole stressful week of like, I just lost $2,000. And then all of a sudden I made it back up in the next month. And then the preceding months, I've been on page one and near the top of page one ever since. So that was a interesting time in my world. So I don't recommend doing that on Amazon. And when I release my sporting good products, I'm not going to do that. But it was a crazy time.
Lessons learned. Learned. I want to kind of circle back a little bit because I'm so glad that you shared the difference between being plant-based and vegan, because a lot of people think that they're interchangeable and don't really understand the difference between the, eating a plant-based diet and the vegan lifestyle. And so I'm glad that you mentioned that before. For us, it was very similar, where we became plant-based because of a health concern. One of our daughters was very sick, and when we saw the difference it made for her, we were like, we can't do anything any other way now. And now it's been over 4 years. So my question for you, I know you mentioned you being very health conscious as well, is what was the change for you? Was there something in particular that happened or that you saw, or what was the thing that made you go from this is a great diet for my health to, this is also an ethical vegan decision as well?
Yeah, I think I just liked how I felt on it so much that I kept doing more research. And I'm always a terrible cook. I mean, I made chicken and rice and oatmeal every day. So it's just such basics. So I wanted to get better at it, I guess to say. And so I started listening to podcasts and doing research. And a lot of times the people that talk about plant-based, they would bring in the eco problems, the animal welfare and all that stuff. And that stuff used to never really bother me too much. And the more you kind of learn about it and open your eyes to it, because we're so blinded from it, and the way you consume a burger, you have no idea what goes on. Like if you had to actually watch how your burger was made, would you eat that burger again? And so you kind of keep going down these rabbit holes, like mentioned, and you just see how terrible it is and how like you feel for them. And so that was it. You just kind of become more passionate about it the more you learn about it.
That's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah. And
sorry, sorry,
go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say that yeah, there's definitely, I was plant-based to start, and now I would consider myself vegan, because it is definitely plant-based as a diet and veganism is a lifestyle. Yeah, go ahead.
That's awesome. Sorry, if you hear the crying baby birds flying, I'm sorry. It's time for them to land everywhere, and there's so many of them. So I'm going to try and talk as fast as possible so I can mute. I also saw on your LinkedIn page that you do triathlons as well.
Yeah, that's become a family thing over. So I did a triathlon or two when I was in middle school and high school, and it was just, we swam when we were younger, but like 10, 11 practices started to be at 6, 7 a.m. and no teenage kid wants part of that. And so being tennis and basketball, those are very endurance heavy sports that between swimming and running, I could do a triathlon. And so I have 2 older brothers, and so we would do that with my dad and a couple of his coworkers and a couple of brothers' friends. So the last one we did was the Chicago triathlon, the Olympic distance. And I think I was like 2 hours and 58 minutes. So I was just under 3 hours. And it was great. And it was so fun. I beat all my family. I lost to one other friend, but it was, so it's become a family thing. So we try and do like one-ish a year. COVID's obviously ruined that, but yeah, so we've done, Santa Cruz triathlon, Chicago triathlon, San Francisco biathlons. We're that family that runs 5Ks on the holidays.
I love this comment. Like, I thank you for coming on. Panda Suit. I'm assuming you know them because they've made a couple notes saying like take notes on him and stuff like that with your comments. But they say doing only a few Olympic triathlons on the side, no biggie. I have to ask though, what is the distance on a triathlon? Because I guarantee most people don't realize how much goes into that. And then I have another question before the two of them try to jump in.
Yeah. So I wish I trained better. I actually ran into the person the other day who beat me, and he was talking so much smack. So I was like, I'm motivated. I'm starting training tomorrow. But yeah, so it's a mile swim, which was like the last one we did. We swam in Lake Michigan, so that was so cool. And then it's a 26-mile bike ride, which you go under the Batman tunnels and stuff from the Batman movies. And then it's a 10K run, so like 6.2-ish miles.
Like, and that's not the Olympic one, correct?
That is the Olympic distance.
That is the Olympic distance. Oh
yeah.
My God. Like, how do you keep yourself going in that? Like, there's got to be a point that you hit exhaustion. And then I'm going to twist the question.
Vegan diet, Brandon. Vegan diet.
Stop! I was so ready for that. I was going to be like, does the vegan diet change it at all? Like, damn you, Jessica Dugas.
Yeah, I actually, we have cramping that runs in the family. So I cramp every time on the run. But the last one I did, there was like a medical person there, and he just gave me like a big salt tablet as my brother passed me as I'm sitting on the ground cramping. And he passes me. He's like, "You okay?" I'm like, just cramps. Every sporting event I ever do, I have cramps. And so this medical person gives me some salt tablets. I get back up and I pass him like a mile later, and he's like, "What happened?" And yeah, it's just, you keep going, and those things are so motivating. People are cheering. Everyone's there to have a good time, whether you're trying to compete or just get in shape. It's like triathlons are just such good communities that it's great.
So I want to make sure I hit this one before I get too far, and then the two of them are going to take over and talk because I know they're going to. I see their smiles, ready to ask you more questions. With this, Stuart Lone Wolf says using golf clubs and tennis rackets as an example. Are you making grips from your materials rather than a finished product? Just better accommodations for all budgets is where he ends it. I was actually thinking the same thing. Like, do you have anything like that? You're going to laugh at me, but you live in California, so you're going to get this. I use tennis racket grip for my dragon staff, and I spin fire. But I would much rather use a vegan product and be able to put it on there. So if you have anything like that, like Stuart was mentioning, talk to me. How can I get it? How can I tape myself up?
Yeah. Well, you go to Amazon and type in. So those ones are under Taken, like T. Akin grips, because Akin was taken. So those are grips that are. Yeah, I have people that use them for their walkers. That they use them on their weights for a grip on there. But I use them for tennis rackets, and I put them on my golf clubs. So you can certainly use them. They're just they come in like a ball that's wrapped, and so you just wrap them around and you can cut it, and they have like a little piece of tape with it, so you can make it any size you want. So they're great, and they're super tacky and comfortable, and they're my favorite tennis grips that I've ever played with, which is why I decided to go with them. But again, like I was saying, is they're made out of PU material. So while they're not an animal product, they're just not super eco-friendly, and so they're not terrible. There are worse options out there, but they're not something that I want to like mass produce and keep going.
Do you focus your marketing on vegans, or are you broadly marketing to sports enthusiasts? Because I know sometimes it can be a challenge to market to people who aren't vegan already. And a lot of times there's preconceived notions of, well, he's going to preach to me and tell me I can't eat, whatever ever again. So where do you focus your efforts as far as marketing?
Yeah, and I'd like to say that there are a plethora of great people out there doing wonderful things in the world that still eat meat. But I would like it to be a little more general than just vegans. I think vegans make up 3 to 5% of the United States. And honestly, if I had 3% of the sporting or basketball market, like I would be set for life. So would have no problem just taking vegans, assuming I got all the vegans. But with that said, I still think it's for a parent that's buying their 10-year-old son a basketball, and it's an eco-friendly option, and it's just a better option than what's on the market today. So it's for all parties, for parents. It's not necessarily for vegans. Would love for vegans to take a liking to it, but it's just better for Earth to go with eco sports. So I just am hoping that we're also around a similar price to those guys. That I read a stat the other day that if people like the vegan niche or eco niche, as long as it's in the same price range. But if you're priced the highest on the market or higher, then people don't go for it.
So can we also get a discount coupon?
If you guys shoot me an email after this, I will, when product comes in store, I would love to send you guys a free ball. Yeah. Brandon, I will make eco sports basketball and you can bring it to the park with you.
I actually was going to ask if you wanted to trade, because I actually create my own line of CWD products. I was in LA for the Oscars this year because it won so many awards of being so different. It's not an oil, not anything. So I was going to be like, hey, after the show, I was going to be like, do you want to trade? Because I could really use a basketball, especially a vegan one. And I'd send you a box of CBD. Jessica's back there like, I haven't even gotten mine in the mail yet. It's coming. It's on its way. I got it. I checked yesterday. They're like, Brandon, calm down. It's coming. I'm like, did you send it? They're like, yeah. But have you ran into challenges where people like push back? And I'm asking a very weird question here, but the pushback from being, I know Jessica being vegan, and there's a lot of people like, ugh, I couldn't be vegan. Ugh, why would I go eat that? Da, 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 da. And they give her a hard time. And I'm saying this in defense of her so she doesn't beat me up after the show. But with that, do people give you a hard time about creating a vegan sports memorabilia, sports products? There's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, definitely. And I've run into some people who have asked some hard-hitting questions, but also questions that just, then you're not my target demographic, and I don't need to go after the whole world. So I'm not too worried about those people. And I think at least 50% of people are pro having an eco-friendly option if it's the same quality. Again, this goes back to the quality thing. But then there are going to be people that just want to see how their burger is made. And if that's how you want to live your life, then that's how you want to do it. And there are other options out there for you. It's not like Eco Sports is the only ball that they can buy.
Looking at both my girls, waiting for one of them. Jessica's smiling.
I am over here pre-ordering a ball to replace the basketball because we got the kids a basketball net for Christmas, and I'm replacing the ball right now. So y'all go on. I'm ordering my ball.
I love it.
I'm busy.
I have to be honest, Jess. I've already signed up in the background for the football. I'm like, yep, I want one of these. I love it. So
do you ship to South Africa? See, now I'm the only one that's not. I can't get the Light Cafe. I can't get anything because you do not ship to South Africa.
Yeah, we don't ship to South Africa. We don't have the manpower for that yet. But if you send me an address, or if you're gonna see Brandon soon, let me know, and I can get some stuff sent over.
Okay, but this is the manifestation episode. So what are you manifesting for your new business?
We're going to be a global sporting good company in the next year or two.
I
Troy,
love that. I love that. If you ever create a rugby ball like that, I will send it to all my friends and let them know about it.
That would
Because
be
I've
great.
got
And
my
especially,
son played
such a big get over
rugby.
there.
Yeah,
Mhm.
my son played rugby, and everybody I know, their children plays rugby. So I'll sell all your rugby balls for you.
I love that. I love that. Yeah.
My ball is ordered now. By the way, I'm excited to get it when it comes in and replace the one that this is what it's about, though. I think is more than preaching to other people, which is why I love the perspective you're coming from, Troy. Is just to walk your talk, and do the things that you feel aligned to do. And if people are able to look in and go, man, they're living a pretty good life over there. They're eating that they're not just eating grass, and they have basketballs that work but are a vegan too. And, they can look in and see that they can make a change, and it doesn't have to be that big of a deal.
Yeah, exactly. They would love to they play with it at the park and have no idea that it's a vegan, eco-friendly ball. They just like the ball. And then when they go buy it, they see all these benefits to it as well.
There you go.
Have you had backlash? Sorry about that. Have you had backlash from any other people that manufacture balls with animal leather that is not backing you?
Yeah, I have not yet. I just don't think I'm big enough yet to put a big dent in their marketplace. So I think maybe once we start getting into Dick's and Big Five and those different sporting good outlets, that we can start seeing their sales dip, and maybe they'll start coming after me.
I hope they don't.
No, I hope they do. I hope because look what happens. You have companies like Beyond Meat. This is why I say I hope they do, because you have companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible that came out with these great products. And now you see other big name companies that are like, oh, we didn't know there was a market there. And Tyson's coming out with things, and KFC and all, they're all starting to carry things now because now they realize, oh, there is a market here and there's people. So I hope that you push all the boundaries, Troy, and that they all come after you, because you're going to be the one that's going to say, we did it first.
Exactly. Thank you. And that I do want to I want to come out first. So I want to be the Kleenex of vegan sporting goods. Cause I think in 5 years, as these fires continue to burn in Dixie, in Tahoe and Oregon, and the world is on fire, both literally and figuratively. And so I think at some point there's going to be a change, and it might be like a lawful change where you'll have to meet a certain carbon footprint. You'll have to meet a certain amount of ethical behavior. And so if we could get on top of that now, it would be super beneficial.
I want to ask how you're changing the world, but you're already doing it. And so I want to ask a question in a different way, because I think that this is a great comment here, how the product will speak for itself. And you actually keep going away from the vegan. You're like, no, I got a good ball, guys. You're going to like it. Trust me. Jessica's on here like, I bought it. Elsa's like, send one to me. I'm sitting here just enjoying the fact that this is so different. What is something that you've noticed through your life that made you know you were going to be different? You wanted to change the world.
That's a deep question. I love the deep questions on here. I just always felt like I've been a good person for majority of my life. I'm sure we've all had our slip ups, but I've just always wanted to bring a smile to someone's face. I've wanted to, do the right thing. And I've always wanted to kind of give back. And I've never really, and I think a lot of people go through this, that they want to give back, but they don't really know how to give back. And so like a couple years ago, I signed up to start volunteering at Acing Autism. It's a tennis thing that works with autistic kids. And it's so fun and so rewarding. Like, as great as it is for the kids, like, it's just as great for me. And so I wanted to figure out a way how I could do that on a larger scale. And I always thought acting would be a great outlet to be an influence and be a good person for them to have as an influence. Maybe I didn't have enough trauma in my life to be the best actor so I've always wanted to give back. And I feel like A, I can give back to the environment. B, we can give back with the proceeds, and hopefully it becomes a bigger scale and we can give back in 1,000 other ways than just in the 10% that we're donating right now. So always want to do something.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Are you guys only going to stay with sports equipment, or will you be moving into like, let's say, football? Do they call it cleats or what? The footwear that athletes wear.
Yeah, absolutely. So cleats are definitely something I've looked into, and they do have some eco-friendly cleats that we can actually use the TPU material for. So that's something that I've looked into. I just need to find someone that could also make a high quality cleat. But another thing that I'd really like to get into is yoga pants and running pants and like wetsuits and swimsuits, because the neoprene material is also very non-eco-friendly and not biodegradable. And so a lot of the yoga pants that you're wearing are super comfy, but they're not great for the environment and not great to be made. So those are another market that we could really take an eco-friendly approach to.
And I've got another question before, because I can't see who's on mute and everything. Do you think that hemp will be able to help you with the manufacturing, that you maybe be able to look into that as well for products?
Yeah. Definitely. So hemp is a great material, and I've also seen bamboo as a great material. And then there's like ecolin, I think I'm pronouncing it right, which is like still kind of close to a nylon material, but it's more eco-friendly. We have some shirts coming in that are 100% plastic bottles, so those are going to be an eco-friendly option. So definitely want to get into kind of a clothing wear or athletic wear line as well too, on a more eco-friendly, especially because some of these Lululemons that are obviously top of the market, but there's a niche for the eco-friendly.
I love the whole thing. And I think our friend that's watching on Twitch today had a great comment about, that the product will speak for itself, and that, we can definitely market to a large audience, and it doesn't have to be a thing. And I think that that's where sometimes vegans gets a bad rap, where you hear the joke all the time, well, if you didn't know they're vegan, they're going to tell you kind of thing. Which I think a lot of us are just proud of, how far we've come, and that we are trying to change the world, not just through our diet, but being more mindful of the environmental factors and all of that, because that wasn't something that I was aware of until I was a couple years into my plant-based journey. And so, do you have any, people that you would love to partner with, or people that you could see doing like a collab with your company that you think could help get you the message out?
Yeah, besides the Chris Paul and Diana Taurasi and Alex Morgan, Rich Roll has probably been my biggest vegan inspiration. Have you guys heard of Rich Roll?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Great. I know he's pretty big, but I don't know how big. But I went vegan before I found him, but I think I was still kind of at like 5 days a week at this point when I started listening to him. And just my Olympic distance triathlons have nothing on Rich Roll. He does my triathlons. He is insane. But he had some guys from the Tennessee Titans on his podcast. He has 1,000 different athletes. I like how it's athlete based podcast. So definitely a goal is to be on the Rich Roll podcast. But he's definitely someone I'd like to put an ad on his 10-minute ads on his podcast.
You are getting compliments like crazy about your website, and how your website doesn't come across as the holier than thou that people do in the vegan thing, like Jessica was mentioning. So that's a huge praise for your marketing. I have to make sure I put that out there, that people are noticing that. Jeannie made a good question here, and you answered it a little bit ago, but be able to break that. I'm concerned about how long my basketball lasts. Well, yours are, even though it is vegan and it is made from a different material, tell us exactly how they're amazing and not going to be breaking, and now they're like, why everybody needs to go to Amazon and your website right now, even if we don't have a 99% off coupon.
Unbelievable. Yeah, that's a great question, and I've thought about that too. So it's, as much as it is biodegradable, it's not just gonna sit in your backyard for a couple months and all of a sudden half of it's in the ground. So it's still, the TPU material is like a cross between kind of a plastic and a rubber, but the way it's made with biodegradable material. So eventually you still need it to be in a biodegradable environment. You can't just leave it on a basketball court and it's going to leave. So the material, though, the reason why it's been successful and around today is it is durable and just as long lasting as the other options out there. So I would expect your ball to last just as long as any other basketball that you have on the market, or soccer ball or football or anything.
Nobody? I can easily come up with questions. I love Troy.
I'm gonna.
No.
I mean,
No, I got it. So what's the code for the 95% off coupon? No, I'm just kidding, Troy. I'm just kidding, buddy.
I'm scared to make one again.
Right? Like, you did it once and it's like, oh shit, what did I do? So Troy, I'm going to ask one fun one, and then I'm going to let the two of them ask one more question, and then we'll go into our final goodbyes of the day. With you being a young entrepreneur, you're living in the tech capital of the world, basically, in California and all that. How do you see yourself being able to be an influence and not let, and this is going to sound weird because you're, like I said, you are young and you have that baby face, without letting your age or the product that you're making become the block for you? How is Troy going to know he's that fucking good? He's going to push through it. That's right. I got my F word in at the end. Boom.
Well, I think the simple answer is just that I am that fucking good. And so that they'll see the confidence and the passion behind the project and respect that. And so I'm just kidding. I'm humble, but no,
claim it, Troy. You are that fucking good. I'm rooting for you. You saw us all jump up and down there, buddy.
Nah.
That's awesome. But I love it. And it's not the confident thing. It's not cocky. It's confidence. You've built something special.
Exactly.
You are fucking awesome. The manifest episode. I used all of your F words, just so you all know.
I love that.
Go ahead, Troy.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think it's confidence. I think I'll start. But I've been working closely with my father and my brother, who will add some age to that and add some sales experience, as they both have done extremely well for themselves in sales. So they'll be a great team members to bring on when we start getting bigger meetings and start meeting with older people. And I think just the passion for what we have for this project, I think people aren't necessarily buying products anymore as much as they're buying companies. So they like the message that these companies are sending. Have a great message.
What advice do you have, Troy, for people who might, young people who might have this idea, but it seems like a very big and grandiose idea, and how am I going to ever pull this off kind of thing? What would be your advice to them?
Yeah, another person who would be an inspiration that I'd love to kind of collaborate with is Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. So she's been a big inspiration on starting your own company. But the biggest thing is just doing it. I understand that there's going to be an initial, even like I started with tennis grips that I sell for $7 on Amazon. So it's still a $5,000 just to get started. So you still need a little bit of bankroll. But, I took YouTube classes. I bought an Amazon course for $10 a month type of thing that I learned a ton on. So, but I'd say the biggest thing is just buying it. I'm not pro. I think there are great things to learn in grad school and education, I guess. But with the way the internet is today, there's limitless free information on YouTube and on Twitter and all these different platforms. And like all the mistakes that I've made doing these business adventures have led me to where I am today. And I wouldn't have been able to do that if I just didn't do it and get started. And learning how to talk to a manufacturer, learning about shipping, and shipping's been a nightmare, especially recently. Like, and just, I mean, just doing it and learning it. Like, think of it as, instead of paying $5,000 to go to school, you're paying $5,000 to learn how to run a business that has potential to make you money.
I agree there. I don't have a question, but I've got something that I saw on your Instagram that like literally hit me. That I thought, how can he say something so controversial yet so true? So I want to read it to you because I wrote it down. It says, how much would a cow have to resemble a dog for it to live? And I was like, okay, thanks for making me feel guilty there.
Yeah, I was actually just doing a little bit of research on the show. I don't preach too much, but the like just the leather industry itself, because that's something that we're really going after. It's just I don't want to use animal byproducts anymore. It's 2021. We have so many great alternatives that we don't need to use it anymore. And that, like, over in China, 2 million dogs and cats are killed every year, and they use their fur and leather. We don't, when you buy a leather jacket, it doesn't say, maybe some do, but it doesn't say made from cows. The leather jacket you're wearing could be made from dogs. And to me, what's the difference between what's a dog, or a cow, or a fish? But that's, you know, a different moral values than what other people have. But over there, where 90% of leather goods are made, they don't have restrictions on if it's cows. It could be a horse. It could be any type of animal that they use over there.
Awesome.
So, all right, Troy, I hope you're ready for this. So the way we end every episode is we actually speak positivity to everybody. It could be your favorite quote. It could be literally like a song that's just on your heart that comes out of Jessica usually. So she shakes her head. It's whatever is on your heart to help inspire people to get through the day and keep them going. It's your light. All right. So don't you worry. Ilse's going to go first. Jessica's going to go second. I'm going to go third. And then Troy, you're going to finish out the show for us today and take us out. So I hope you're ready for this. You have a big responsibility of inspiring the world today. You got that?
Okay, I've got a couple in mind, so we'll see what you guys say to which one comes out.
I love it. All right, Ilse, take us out, sweetheart.
It's Thursday. I did not know it was Thursday. I thought we were at Tuesday already, or Tuesday still, because it's been a long, busy week and everything. And before the show started, I actually asked because I like giving you guys messages and starting to stand in my own power and believe that the words that come out of my mouth are empowering. And I literally got this message that I really want to share with you guys. It says, who do you want to become? What kind of life are you prepared to live? And how will you wisely yield your power to co-create a new world beneficial for others and not just for yourself? And then it says, experience woven together with knowledge creates a beautiful thing. It's called wisdom. I hope you guys have a wonderful Thursday.
What day is it? We don't know here. I was supposed to announce before and I didn't. So really quickly, our winner from last time I was on for the book for A Musical Evening of Giving is Stuart Lone Wolf. So Stuart, you are the winner, and make sure you get in contact with me to get your book and all of that. And thank you to everyone who has been purchasing tickets for A Musical Evening of Giving. The one thing that I want to leave with today is that there is a difference between just sharing our truth and being preachy and holier than thou, as was mentioned, and all of that. And I think we all have a beautiful opportunity to just have conversations, and that's really how change happens in the world. And there's a quote that from Bryant McGill that says, one of the most sincere forms of respect is actually listening to what another has to say. So get out of your bubble, have conversations, and just listen for a little while.
Well said. So I have been working on myself a lot because I want to make sure if I'm going to be a leader, I can bring the best of who I am and know that I'm being my best for me first, but then I'm able to provide that for everybody else. And I was reading the other night, and I was reading this one. I'm going to read one quick paragraph that hit me really hard. So many of us at one time or another have dimmed our lights or hidden our authentic selves. Maybe we felt we had to wear a mask or live by the should-haves or have-tos that our family and society, or maybe we were told we were too much. That's me. Or too loud. Gee, never heard that. And so we made ourselves smaller to fit in. Maybe we didn't want to rock the boat in a relationship or got too comfortable letting others set the parameters in our lives. This week, this Thursday, even though we might not know it's Thursday, do yourself a message, do yourself a positive thing, and turn around and see if those words hit you. Were you ever told you were too much? Were you ever told you were too loud? Did you let go of your authentic self just to appease others? If so, look in the mirror today and tell yourself how much you love yourself, because trust me, you're worth it.
Oh, those are some great quotes. I love deep, meaningful conversations. It's only 9 a.m. on my time, so I'm ready to get the day started after this. But I'd say in the spirits of sporting good products and playing, this is one of my all-time favorite quotes, is you don't stop playing because you grow old. You grow old because you stop playing. So keep going and playing and enjoy and have a great balance of playing and work and life and family and friends, and enjoy it because you only get one of them unless you believe in reincarnation.
I like how you phrase that. You're like, well, unless you got this. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Tomorrow is Friday. We have Bob Seymour jumping on. Do not miss that. Troy, if you've not met Bob, he is literally one of the most amazing people you're going to meet in the world. I would love for you to come by and say hi. So, love it, man. Know that you would meet Bob and be like, oh, yeah. So, Troy, stick around after the show. We'll give you we'll do a quick rundown and have a conversation. Guys, it's Friday tomorrow. Get out, give your best, make sure you're faithful, and love one another and spread positivity. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I have traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram, lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it.